This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and this is installment 2 of our feature on the bands who are playing at Jazz Under the Stars this year. This coming Thursday in Knoll Ridge Park, it will be Local on the Eights, and Brett Messenger, leader of Local on the Eights, trumpeter par excellence. And off the air, we were talking about you were coordinating a lot of the backstage and hospitality at the Iowa City Jazz Festival, and we were just doing a little recap of that before I started rolling the tape. Before we get to Jazz Under the Stars, what a great festival!
Yeah,
we had.
It was incredibly special this year.
And you got a chance to play with several of the main stage artists when they came and hung out at your jams.
Yeah, it was really cool. Both the Mill, Clinton Street, and the Yacht Club were holding basically hangouts after the festival, and Rudy Royston and Gerald Clayton, among other names, came down and hung out every single night, and it was, I think more than anything, they had a blast, and it was a great opportunity for networking between musicians, both local and nationwide, and it was really cool.
So obviously, when you're in a situation like that, I mean, you're just trying. I suspect that when one of those cats sits down with you, you're just trying to hang on for dear life.
Well, what's cool about running my own band, Dennis, is that I get to pick what we play.
Right.
So, number one, I make sure to pick something that I'm not going to sound like too much of a Philistine, and number two, that I don't solo in front of them.
So obviously it's fun, it's fast paced, the beer's flowing and all that, but do you pick up anything in an atmosphere like that? Do you learn anything? Is there, when you wake up the next morning and you go, okay, that's what he was trying to do. I've got to work on that. Or does it just go by too fast?
I think for me, just as a horn player, something that I always, and I'd say the rest of the guys in the band too, specifically at the Mill hang, Rudy Royston sat in and Brian Charette on the keyboard sat in. And I think more than anything, all of us learn a lesson in rhythm. I mean, Rudy was purposely messing with us with the time. And for me as a horn player, I'm just like working really hard. And that was after waking up the next morning and saying, wow, that was so cool. Wow, that was so special. Wow, what a wonderful environment, and how receptive those guys were. Then I was like, okay, I need to sit back with my metronome and work on my time, because it was just, you could see kind of a little bit of the fear but excitement in the band when he started soloing and everyone was trying to do a comp behind him, and he was messing with the time all over the place, and I was like, well, I'm glad I'm not a part of that.
So, Local on the Eights is going to be at Jazz Under the Stars for the first time. We're really excited. We talked about seeing you guys at the Jazz Fest, and we presented you guys at First Friday Jazz, and you've hit the Parlor City circuit.
Yep.
Seen you there several times as well. Tell me a little bit about how this band came together. Now, I know that it has definitely changed since it did start. So talk to me about how it came together and then how it morphed into what it is now.
I think it's, 3 years ago that we put a side stage together of just a jazz quintet. Trumpet, tenor, bass. I think Andy Parrott was in that, guitar and drums. And at that time, I arranged several things to do with the band for that, and we got pretty excited about the group, and we started to play a little bit more. But as time went on, I was arranging more and more music for the band. Nothing original at that for the first year. It was just honestly some of the favorite musicians that I grew up, mostly in college, like the 2005 to 2009 time, where I was turned on to certain bands, certain trumpet players, certain grooves, and I was like, okay, this is finally something where this is a group where I can facilitate that music. And the more I started to arrange music, the more something that's always been, it's been a group effort, and I've kind of just driven the business thing and booked shows and whatnot, but the guys have been cool enough and kind enough to indulge playing whatever I want to play, and doing their own thing with it, and I think it's been the vision is trying to do something that's sophisticated, that every jazz nerd might dig, but at the same time that any any common person just come up and dance and have a good time.
Well, one of the things I like the most about it is that, just the great rhythmic found. I mean, the stuff you play is stuff that you can tap your foot to, you can get up and dance. And, every musician, I think, wants to play the songs that got him or her interested in music. So for you, what were a few of those groups?
Roy Hargrove. Roy Hargrove, Trombone Shorty, and Christian Scott, trumpet players that Roy Hargrove and Trombone Shorty and Snarky Puppy specifically, because those are bands to me that I'm like, oh my gosh, like Roy Hargrove's RH Factor, where they're obviously committed to musical excellence. The band is incredible, and there's a certain harmonic presence that alludes to jazz, but at the same time, it just grooves and it's funky. And same with Trombone Shorty, as everyone knows, and Snarky Puppy, same thing, where I'm really jealous of Michael Leake because he's doing exactly everything that I would love to do, writing original music that people love to play, that the musicians love, and crowds alike love.
So who's in the band?
The normal gigging band, it's several people, but Eric Thompson plays drums. Carlo Kind has also played drums with us. Steve Grismore and Andy Parrott both both own the guitar chair. Sometimes we'll use both of them. Sometimes only one, as they're both really busy. Ben Soltau's always laying down the bass. On keyboards, John Snell's playing most of the time, but he's leaving.
This is kind of his farewell gig.
This is his farewell gig.
Because he's taking off for New York for grad school.
Yeah, he is, and we're going to miss him so much, but best wishes to him. But Grace Leong also sits in and plays with us and does an awesome job. The tenor saxophone book is either usually Robert Espy or Jeff Miguel from Iowa City, as Robert's in Des Moines doing a lot of symphonic stuff with his violin as well. So, yeah, the makeup is usually piano, keyboard, bass, drums, trumpet, and tenor.
Yeah, sometimes I've talked about this as being, and don't let your head get big, as being a collection of the top group of the young musicians from all up and down the corridor, except for Grizz.
Right. See, and this is
all these young cats and one old guy.
And he laughs about it so much. He is self-deprecating about how he doesn't feel like he can hang with us, which is a total joke because he brings just an incredible intensity and musicianship to the group and maturity that really helps us out. But we do joke about that a little bit. The very first gig we played, I said, "Hey guys, I want to do, not to be snotty, but I do want to do shirts and ties in this band." And
I have yet to see Grizz show up in a tie.
Oh, he does. He looks really good. But he thought I was kidding, I think. And he showed up and I'm going to get in trouble for this, but he showed up to Parlor City with a Got Jazz T-shirt on.
Okay. Well,
and all of us were.
I think that's a fine wardrobe choice.
I agree. And he saw all of us and he's like, "You weren't kidding." Moral of the story is where he's gone to Yonkers several times. Told me specifically, "I was thinking of you, and I thought you'd like this one."
Sounds well. It just I am familiar with the band. I love the band. Real excited to have you guys coming out to Jazz Under the Stars. You sing on a few songs too.
Yeah.
I think you do okay. You do okay for a trumpet player.
I think exactly. I mean, I think I was having a conversation with Chris Bird at the Yacht Club we were playing, and he came down and checked out the show. I think 99% of musicians can sing. It's whether you have, number one, the confidence, which I'm working on, and number two, whether you have the voice. Most of us don't really have that voice, but most of us can just sing on pitch.
Right.
And that's what I try to utilize. It's again trying to connect to a worldly crowd, and I think not one of us individually has, maybe Eric, but not one of us individually has a great voice, but together with harmonies and stuff, we can sing on pitch, and it kind of sounds like we can sing together.
If you're faking it pretty well from my angle. Well, really looking forward to it. The weather's going to be great, and we've also got the KCCK CD and record sale the same night. Records and CDs, two for $1, so people can peruse that selection while they're checking out your sound. What else? Anything on the horizon besides just gigging around?
No, I don't think so. We're going through some changes here with personnel and trying to figure out where we're going to go. Yeah, and Grace is also leaving because she was so wonderful. I've talked to Steve Shanley a little bit about playing. So I've kind of taken a breather with booking bands or booking shows. But we will keep moving. We're going to just keep. We're going to try to hash out a little more original music here in the coming months and hit it again. But we do have a lot of little things here and there. Hopefully, playing the Bruce Morgalla. Still looking for a piano player.
Oh, okay. Looking for a piano player. That's ahead of Bruce Morchestra.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes open.
Yeah. Ed's waiting for me too, and I keep telling him, look for another band if you have to, but we're almost there.
Brett Messenger from Local on the 8s. It's Jazz Under the Stars, second week, Thursday in Knoll Ridge Park. 7 o'clock is when the music starts. Looking forward to a great night.
We are as well. Thanks so much.